Happy Valentine's Eve or happy Friday the 13th, whichever way you want to look at it. Um, I hope you're having a great Friday so far. I did want to share a little bit with you this morning on estrangement. I will get back to gardening and more fun subjects as the weather gets a little warmer. Maybe this weekend. I'm starting to do a few things out in the flower bed, kind of prepping for spring and summer. But I did want to share one more story today about the estrangement with my daughter. I actually had lunch with a dear friend of mine yesterday I hadn't seen in quite a while, and we were just talking, and like many other situations, when you're in it, it's kind of like the forest for the trees. You can't really see, but you maybe feel something is off or not right. I'm almost 8 years into the estrangement with my daughter, but when her stepfather and I were really having issues and talking about divorce, we hadn't told anyone. It was just strictly at that point between us. And then my daughter, I stopped hearing from her, or I hadn't heard from her. And, as each day passed, I would ask my then husband, did you talk to her? Have you heard from her? Did you talk to her? And every day it was no, no, no. And I just kept thinking, well, this is really odd. I mean, normally we do hear from her, or I do hear from her. And so I got a call one day from my grandchildren's other grandmother, my daughter's ex-mother-in-law. And she said, Beth, what is going on? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, are you, and I'll call him Bill, getting a divorce? And I said, who told you that? And she said, Morgan. I'll say that's my daughter's name. It's not her real name. But she said, Morgan told me, and that Bill had told her. So when he got home that day, I asked him again, very calmly. I said, have you talked to Morgan? Have you heard from her? And the answer was like it had been every other day. No, haven't heard from her, haven't talked to her. And so then I said, well, I happen to know that's not true, because I just got a call from Kim asking me about our situation. And it came from Jordan, that came from you. And when I said that, he had the defensive reaction of kind of going into a little bit of a rage and saying, yes, I did talk to her. I had a 2-hour conversation with her 2 weeks ago. And so all the time he had been lying to me and telling me he hadn't talked to her, when actually then he said he had had a 2-hour conversation with her. And of course, in a situation like that, I guess you're always going to tell your side of things, which may be true, but it's not the full story at all. So the really sad part about that is anyone that knew me knew that my relationship with Morgan was very fragile. It had been for some time. It just was not good. We'd had a lot of struggles. She'd been in and out of the house with one child, then 2, then 3, living with us, and it was a struggle, living in together and having 3 kids in the house. It's not really where you see your life, when you're at that age. But anyway, so then I knew, that they had been talking. And, over that last 8 years, I've learned a lot more. And I realized that there was a lot more conversation going on between them behind my back that I was lied to about, not told about, didn't know about. And, of course, not complimentary toward me. And so that feeling of living with the enemy really was a real feeling. If you have real feelings like that, that you can't shake, generally there's probably something to that. But anyway, that 2-hour conversation that her stepfather had with her was the end of our relationship 7.5 years ago. So while there's a lot more involved, that years before that led up to it, I would say the marriage she had, the 3 children, the chaos in their marriage. It was just a terrible, terrible situation. There's just a lot that went on. So I can't say that's the whole reason, but it is the catalyst for the estrangement, and that's a big deal. If you know that there's a fragile situation going on in a relationship like that, you don't go and pour fuel on the fire, not unless you just want to intentionally cause trouble and cause harm. And the people who are harmed the most are the grandchildren who now got cut off from a very loving grandmother and a very caring grandmother. I haven't seen them. Well, I haven't really had the same relationship with them for 7.5 years. I have seen them a few times through their dad, who he no longer sees them. But, you know, it may feel good to have a little, maybe you would call it revenge. Maybe it satisfies you. Maybe you feel like saying negative things and telling your part of the story makes you feel good, makes you feel better. But the people you harm, the grandchildren you harm, you can't say you love someone and then do something that you know is going to rip their life apart and take someone out of their life that they've leaned on, that they've depended on, that love them dearly. And that's what happened. So, you know, you can say you love something all day long, but when you do that, you don't really love. You love yourself more, and you love getting revenge more. And it's just a terrible thing to do. And I do believe there's other moms and grandmothers out there like me. I would love to hear from you if you've experienced something like that. That certainly led to or been a catalyst for your estrangement. How much of this is going on? How much? How many parents of adult children or step parents of adult children are stepping in and causing this kind of havoc within the family and this kind of division? I'd be interested to know if anybody has experienced anything like that. I actually have read some stories, women saying that this has happened to them. Maybe not exactly like mine, but similar. So anyway, but it's Valentine's Eve, so I'll leave you with my normal, do something today that you enjoy. Do something today that brings you joy. If that's a great cup of coffee, go have one. If it's buying some new pillows for your sofa and you can afford it, go do it. Just some little something today that brings you joy. And then over the next week, try to find someone that you can do something for. There's a lot of busy working moms that would always welcome some homemade cookies made by someone caring. That's what I do. I make cookies for neighbors of mine. They have a lot of children, and but there's nursing homes full of lonely people. Go in and meet someone and take them a little treat. It makes their day, their week, their month. But there's usually someone out there that can use a little help. So anyway, do something every day for yourself that you enjoy. Do something once a week for someone else, and I believe, you know, even going through this estrangement, it will make a happier life for you. It's helped me, so that's why I share my experience with you all and encourage you all that you can have a happy life. It's not the life we expected, not the life we wanted, we planned on, and all that. No, it's not. But it can be good, and we have to be thankful for the good things and grateful for the many blessings we do have. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you'll come back. Please subscribe, and I do more fun videos on other things, gardening, new restaurants. We're about to try a new restaurant actually tomorrow night. We've got reservations for Valentine's, so I'll probably be sharing something on that. I think it's going to be good. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back and have a great Valentine's weekend.